Hello, welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kremer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Minnesota. And today we are going to make our own pattern paper. Let me find myself on my website. There it says I'm live. Now to find it so I can see your comments. There we go. Hello, hello. All right. So I don't know if you follow me on YouTube as well. I have started a series called Frugal Friday, and it's just on YouTube. They're pre-recorded videos, at least for now. And I talked about ink a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, I've talked about a lot of things. I think I have 8 or 10 of them on Frugal Fridays out there already. So I talked about how you can stamp off and get multiple colors of the same ink. And I talked about using punches to in different ways to create more than just the punched shape. I don't. Anyway, so last Friday I created this for the video. You can see here this is a lighter shade of green and this is a darker shade of green. So that's stamping off. You can't really see the banner edge there. I used a punch to create that shape. So that's kind of where my idea for today came from. And I had made some pattern paper. This is what I have left of it. Just playing around. I just felt like stamping, and that's what I created. And then I made 2 cards. This one's done, obviously. This one isn't quite done yet. I'm not sure what I'll add to it. Maybe a sentiment? Maybe just some gems? I don't know. And honestly, this card came into be because I had a piece of Petunia Pop cardstock that size, and I just folded it so that I had an A2 card. That's where that came from. So, hello, Kathy. Hello, Mom and Dad. Thank you for joining. And I see others are here too. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are just stamping. I have to share that a couple of weekends ago, I participated in a summit. They're online and they just post videos, and it was free. It was called Creating Card Making with Your Stash or something like that. And it was so fun. And I posted about the cards I made using my stash. And it brought joy back to my stamping. So I decided I'm going to share more of the joy I have in stamping. So I have just a half a sheet of paper. It'll be a little quicker if I just do half. I do have thick basic white card bases here, scored and ready to go, and envelopes, because I like to make sure I stamp on my envelopes as well. Let's just get started. So I asked for suggestions on colors. And is Deb here? I don't see you. Deb might be. She doesn't always chime in. But I had asked for suggestions on my Facebook group. And Deb said she had used these 3 colors, Pumpkin Pie, Melon, Mambo, and Granny Apple Green on a recent card. And she said it was very bright and cheery, which I absolutely agree. Those would be bright and cheery cards. And hi, Nan from California. Thanks for joining us today. And Nan said she has been enjoying using Blackberry Bliss. A very dark color, and if we could probably stamp that 3 or 4 times and get different shades of Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to try to use all of these. It'll be kind of interesting. I oftentimes like to use 5 colors. Where'd that paper go again? What did I use here? I used Petunia Pop, Shy Shamrock, Peach Pie. I guess I only had 3. And then I added the Blackberry Bliss to get the butterfly. But anyway, years ago, I had read somewhere, and I've spent hours looking for it again, and I can't find it, that talked about creating collages like this one, or I call it pattern paper. And the one thing I remember, they talked about using 5 colors. I didn't use 5 here, but with the stamping off of the Petunia Pop to get the lighter shade. I think that's what that was. And then I stamped, this is the Natural Botanicals, and I turned it over. They call it a reversible stamp, so you can get the solid image. So I don't know how many colors there are actually there. So they talked about 5 colors. They talked about including an element that's alive. So I don't know if flowers and plants would count, but I added the butterfly after the fact, and it really brought not only the dark color, but it brought it to life. So we're going to kind of play around with that thought today too. Like I said, I've tried to find that article, or it was in a book or something, about creating a collage. So I thought we'd use leaves again today, like that green card, but we're going to use the colors that kind of lean towards flowers. So I don't know. I'm a little nervous because when I don't have a sample to show you or to work from that I know it's going to work, I get a little nervous. I love this little vine here. I think this stamp set just retired. I think the dies might still be available. I thought these leaves from Country Flowers would be kind of fun and lead to some white space in our pattern paper. This little stamp isn't quite that little. I guess it is that little. So we're going to start pulling stamps out. I just grabbed a whole bunch of leaves. I thought the openness on this one, so I don't know if we'll use both of these. Let me know if you have any preferences here. So, hi Jean Schiller, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you stayed warm today. I think our high was 2 below. And Jean lives not too far from me here. I thought the leaf here might be kind of fun. I'm going to pull that one out because I do want to use that. And that's so long and skinny that I can use that block. Have you noticed the With You in Mind? This is Julie Davison's $1 Million stamp set. I took her class and got a signed stamp set. Very fun. So I'm going to use the little leaf from here. I talked about those. Okay, we did these. I have 4 more that I'm considering. I really like this leaf sprig in the painted lavender. That one's still around. And if I don't like the stem, I can use, see, that's a big one. Actually, I think it fits on the H block. I can just ink from here up and not get that stem. So that might be kind of fun to use too. I thought the openness of the leaves on here might be nice. So I've lost count of how many I have here. There's a whole bunch of leaves in the Painted Paradise. I believe this is a celebration item that you can get for free. On here, these are only 60% of what the actual stamp size is. I love this really large leaf. We could stamp that many times and get different shades of one color. So that one's kind of fun. The 3 leaf image might be kind of fun too. When I make my cards, it might be kind of fun to use the pots as part of the focal point. I pulled this one out too I was thinking the flowers, and then I decided to switch to leaves. I do like that image too. So we're just going to pull that out. Kathy says, high of 2 below is just plain wrong. It isn't when you get to stay inside. I didn't have to go outside today. Thank you, Tony, for, I don't know if he ran to the store today or not. But you just bundle up. You dress appropriately. You wear lots of layers. And Diane, she'll watch on YouTube. Diane made me a scarf, so I am wearing it tonight. It's cold in the basement, so thank you for the scarf, Diane. Just cold around my neck. Okay, so we're just going to do a half a sheet. So as I'm stamping, you've seen, hopefully you remember this from times past. I have a piece of vellum that I have, I put in my trimmer and just used a permanent marker to mark off different sections. So I am going to create 2 cards here. That's kind of my thinking. So I can put this on, after I start stamping, I can put this on to see what each half of my this cardstock is going to look like once I cut it to make my 2 cards. So let's get busy. Let's just start with Granny Apple Green. That's a typical green color. Let's do one of these. I don't know. And I'm just going to stamp randomly, kind of like the multicolored piece I showed you at the beginning. I'm just going to fill the whole thing in. Another, some of the tips, and I'll just talk about it as I do it. I do things without thinking because I've done this so long. Stamp off the edge of your paper will make it more interesting. And if you notice, I keep turning my stamp around, and I'm going to turn my paper around. Once we get this filled up, it's going to be, you know, I am going to clean these because I might want different colors. Okay, and I've talked about my glass mat. You can see some green on there possibly. And I am going to make a mess of the back of this, but that's okay. I'm going to cut it up and use it as card layers. So that'll be a little quicker than me having to clean my glass mat all the time. I will show you what the back, you can see it already has green on it. Let's do some Blackberry Bliss next. Let's see, I have scrap paper here in case. I don't think I want Blackberry Bliss to be full strength. I think it's going to be too dark for what I want. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp a few times. Look how dark it is already. You can see didn't get a really good image there, so I'm going to clean it off. Maybe there's something on my stamp. So I'm going to stamp off so I don't have any full strength, and just randomly off the edge. You know what, this might be kind of interesting. It almost looks like a butterfly, doesn't it? What if, here, let's play around. I should have done, see, this is where I should have done this before. I'm going to stamp around in a circle. Oh, that'd be pretty. Oh, there's some ideas for this. This was from the Sentimental Park. This stamp set has been around for quite a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is going to be retired in the next catalog, which I will get to see when I go to Raleigh, North Carolina next month. Let's do some of these. This might be kind of fun in orange. All right, so remember, I don't want to use the stem, so I'm going to ink up just the leaf part, and I didn't ink down here. And I don't think you'll be able to tell. I think once we get it all filled, oh, I kind of like this, the second generation. That's pretty. You can see it's just looks, it stops right there, and it looks a little funny. So when I stamp my next one, I'll make sure I cover that spot. Or if you make a smudge, or this kind of stamping is very forgiving because you're going to cover up any quote-unquote mistakes you might have. You can see there's a little smudge right there. There's a little smudge right there. I must have ink on my fingers. I do. So let's just cover it up. There's a little smudge right there. Let's cover it up, and you will never see it. Unless you look for it, I suppose. All right, let's clean that off. We're looking good. Let's get some Melon Mambo in here. Some pink leaves. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Let's get rid of that. Which one? Let's do another big one. Another thing is, I start with the largest stamps. I don't know if you saw, I pulled all the stamps out I wanted and put them on blocks. And then I started with the bigger stamps. And now I can fill in the white space with the smaller stamps. So let's see what this is going to look like. Oh, pretty. Oh, I do like the second generation almost better than the first generation. This ink is very dark. And here, I must have stamped on the edge. You can see these leaves are darker, like this was stamped off. And I don't know, it kind of adds a lot of interest there, but I'm going to cover up the base there where the, anywhere you don't like that it looks, like the way it looks, like down here. I want to make sure I cover that up so you don't notice things as much. And we'll do there. I don't know. Just and overlap things. Don't try to keep them all separately. So I am overlapping, if you notice that too. All right, let's do some more pink. I kind of like, how about this one? From the With You in Mind. A little more airiness to it. Oh, I like that. It'd be kind of fun. Oh, I do like these leaves with this pink. There's another piece of paper. I just have an idea. Let's see. No, I'm just playing. Sorry, I got distracted. So I'm going to do full strength here. And we're going to do that. Ooh, is that juicy? So that looks pretty. I would take my time and do something different there, but see, I'm getting ink in the middle of that leaf, so I'm going to clean it off. I'm going to close that again. Boy, this would be kind of fun. I'm going to use these same ones again. I think we can build. Oh, absolutely. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I'm going to keep that handy. Just pull out all your leaves. Pull out all your flowers. You can make this bigger. I kind of like it. Let's see, we're just going to build that. Isn't that awesome? I think it's beautiful. Anyway, okay. Sorry. I get so easily distracted. I see I've got some water on here. And I just kind of messed it up, but that's all right. We have more stamping to do. We're going to let that dry for a minute. I have a lot of water on my chamois right now. We're going to go back to Granny Apple Green. Leaves, I think, probably should be green, right? We're going to let that side dry. And just fill in. It's almost dry. We can cover it now. No mistakes. This is your creation, or in this case, my creation. I love doing this. Because I have, well, now I do have all the ink colors. Before I became a demonstrator, I didn't have them all. I was working on it before I became a demonstrator. And just as I finished my whole collection, they did a revamp. I had like a month with lavender lace. No, I don't know. One of the colors. And then they retired it. And there it again. Okay, we're going to use pink again. But I think it's going to be too dark. So I'm going to stamp off. If I can remember to stamp off every time. Stamp off. We're just going to fill in some of these white spaces. Oh, another thing about creating your own pattern paper. I'm getting so distracted with my stamping. Obviously, you have the colors you like best. There's a bad stamped image. Just cover it up. Very, very forgiving. If you're not the best stamper, this is probably a good technique to try. You know, when you buy pattern paper, Stampin' Up! Has decided what colors it's going to be. In this case, I have decided, with your help, what colors this is going to be. I don't know if I like that. There's too many colors going on. I think the orange is clashing with all the pink I have, so I think I'm going to leave. I'm not going to add any more orange. All right. Oh, hi, Judy. Thanks for joining today. I think I need more green. So let's put the pink away. I have a couple stamps left. Maybe just this one. Yeah. And this is another solid one. So if I stamp this a lot, and cover up all the spots where I think I've misstamped. There. Anywhere there's a stem, I kind of want to cover up that stem. And here again, it might be kind of fun to put a few of these together. I think we're doing good. Yeah, I'm liking it better now. And off the edge, I didn't do enough of that, I think. Oh, I just got my finger in there. I gotta clean that. Clean, clean, clean. All right. A little more granny apple green over here. Decisions. There's some white space I want to cover. See, there's the back of it. Still kind of messy. That's all right. Here. All right. And even after you cut it up, if you haven't done a full sheet like this, if you've done a shape or something, and maybe I'll show you that. A lot of time I see people doing circles, like they'll take a full sheet of white and they'll do a circle like a wreath, and then when they cut it up, you get some interesting white space. I tried one where I did 3 straight lines and the white spaces just didn't work. The other way I like to stamp is across the middle on both directions. And then, I can't find my 4th sheet with the here. If you go both directions, you get nice white spaces in the corner. The other thing with stamping like this, notice all the stamps I've chosen, well, most of them, are not directional. Like if you have something, let's say a hot air balloon, you're not going to want to stamp, have on your paper a hot air balloon that's upside down. Or I have a stamp with deer on it. And I wouldn't want to stamp a deer where it's going to be upside down. Where leaves and flowers do tend to be good stamps for images for this kind of stamping. I did one the other day where I stamped the bottom edges, and you couldn't tell that I had done this technique because it looked like I had just stamped along the bottom edge. So play around with your stamps and see what you can do. Oh, I see. I have a birthday cake over there. It would be kind of funny to do this with cake or cookie. Well, cookies might be all right, but cake, because then your cake might be upside down in some pieces. Where an upside down leaf, that's all right. I don't think there's any trouble with that. So what do you think of that? I wish I had a way to take a picture of it. I'm going to leave it like this, and maybe I can find a screenshot of that later. I am going to go ahead and add some full-strength Blackberry Bliss with that butterfly image. And you help me decide, or you can help me decide, if adding something that's, I'll say, more alive than a plant. Plants are alive, but you know what I mean. If adding something, I'll say alive that move, well, you know what I mean. Oh, here, let's do this. Do you do this very often? Run out of blocks? So you have to use one bigger block for 2 images. Put them on opposite sides, and then you'll be able to use both of them. I think this is going to work well because these Blackberry Bliss leaves that I kind of made look like flowers are stamped off. They're not full strength. So we're going to do the outline image, full strength, and I'm being a little careful where I put them, because when I cut this apart, put my thing on here, I have one on each side, so I think I'm going to put one in the middle, and then when I cut it, he will be dissected. That sounds kind of funny. I think that's about the middle. So I'm cleaning off the outline there. What color? You know what? I think we will go back to the orange. This might make it kind of interesting. He will look like a monarch. And to line up, to line this up, I will stand up. Let's see, move that. So thank you for your suggestions, Deb and Nan. All right, I can't talk while oh, that is gonna be so pretty. Yeah, that one I didn't take my time. Let's see here. I think the butterflies are giving more movement to to this. What do you think? Not quite done. Let me finish these two and then I'll get my hands out of the way. One more. I love this butterfly. What do you think? I don't know if it goes that way, but what are your thoughts? Yep, Kathy says the butterfly makes the paper. I think it does too. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the paper before I added the butterflies, but like I said, I remember reading somewhere that having a living element in your collage kind of finishes it off, or literally brings life to it, even though our leaves are alive, right? They grow and die and that sort of thing, but the butterfly, and I think adding it as the darker makes it much more visible. Sorry for my reach. So that's the same butterfly. Did I tell you what that was from? That was from the Labeled with Love, and I have this punch that we can use to add our sentiment for our cards. So, interesting color combination. I never would have put those four together. Again, that was Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, Pumpkin Pie, and then we added variations of Blackberry Bliss. I think I may have liked it better without the orange, the pumpkin pie, but again, that's what I used for the butterfly, and he kind of looks like a monarch, even though that's purple and not black around his wings. All right, so not too much of a mess there. I am going to clean that off, though, now that we're working with cards. Oh, I forgot to stamp the inside of my card in my envelope, but I still have my stamps on blocks, so we're just going to cut this. This is a half a sheet, so it's 8 1/2. I think I will just cut it in half. And then I have my card bases. Let me grab all my cards here. Hold on. All right. So my card base, it's a thick white. And I don't know, if I just put it on, it won't have an edge, which I think will be nice. It's something different rather than always adding layers. It would be interesting to cut it down and then add layers of my colors, but I'm not going to do that today. It does add a lot to add those layers, I have to admit, but I didn't know what colors I was using until 7 o'clock was kind of my deadline for you to tell me. Now, which way I think I am going to have the butterflies go up. There. There's one card. I'm going to leave the other card, and I think I will maybe cut it in half and then add some layers with those colors. But you'll have to check my blog to see that, because I'm not going to take time because it's already 8 o'clock. All right. Let's see. Oh, Nan says orange was a great choice for the butterfly. Is that what you're saying? I think so too. So there's my other card layer. Card base, I mean. I'm not going to fuss with that. I will stamp my envelopes. Let's do... I want to use the same colors I used here. Let's do a pink with... No, I have to find the right one. I think that was this one. Yep. And... oh, this one was pink too. This was purple. I want a green one. That open one. Oh, it's up here. Like I'm missing a stamp. So what do you think of that? It goes this way. I kind of like it. Maybe one more on here. A little bit of the orange. Nope, we're going to do Blackberry Bliss. And that was this one. really glad I stamped off this one. I think that would have been really dark. And there I misstamped. See right there? So we're going to stamp again with the pink. So this is actually a very good technique for new stampers. If you don't have the feel of your stamps and stamp like this a lot, just you get to stamp over the top and nobody knows the difference. Unless you record your stamping and then people will see. But very, very forgiving. Let's make sure this is clean. All right. So, oh, I got some ink on there. So that. Let's pull this out. See, this is well loved. And I do like to use pink on this. I don't know why. I have a scrap of paper. Let's move this so I don't miss it. Let's do 2 just in case. You never know. And you are loved. That's a good one. I can use a smaller block, and this one actually goes this direction. See, I knew that wasn't quite inked well enough because it's a photopolymer. There. And we'll just line that punch up. That's the labeled with love. I don't know if this is still a bundle or not. They do coordinate, so when they're new bundles, you get 10% off when you buy them together. After they've been around a while, they usually unbundle them, but the products are still available. Grab some dimensionals. Those are little ones. I want big ones. All right. Let's finish this off. Later, I think I will add some bling just to add a little sparkle. So all those things you do with your cards otherwise. Now, where do I not like the stamping? And that's where I will put my sentiment. This is kind of jumbled here. I do like the white space there, so it's going to go right there, or here. Now we're going to put it right there. You are loved. We can stamp on the inside. Let's do... Did I not use this? No, I used this in pink. Guess I was in a pink mood today. We're going to stamp this on the inside. There we go. Just like that. What? I had so many ideas that I shared while I was stamping this. It might be interesting to use other items. Like I look at the Cake Fancy. It's across the room. It's got cookies in it, like macaroons and those sorts of things. It might be kind of interesting to try this with something like that. But then I don't know how I'd add something living if I did it with cookies. Anyway, thank you for joining me. That's our card for the day. Where did that green one go? Here it is. That was my inspiration. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the color suggestions, Deb and Nancy. I appreciate it. Oh, very bright. I think I needed that today. It was bright outside. It was just very, very bitterly cold. So, thank you for joining. I appreciate you all. And I will be recorded next Monday. I don't know that I'll be home from Michigan and my niece's wedding yet. So I probably won't be. So next Monday will be recorded, and I've already have that in the works. So have a great week, or 2 weeks, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.